Hi everyone. So in today's video, we will have a look on how this while loop continue keyword. Okay, let's say how this continue keyword can be used in an application. So we just had a look on this number addition, but this time we will have a look on how this is working on an application, and after that we will see how this in one of the upcoming videos how this break keyword can also be used. Okay, so let's talk about an application. So let's say we have a scenario, right? Let's say you have a few LEDs, okay, few LEDs running as a blink. Okay, let's say LED number 1 is on, okay, after that LED number 2 is on, after that 3 is on, okay, so after that 4 is on, 5 is on, like that it's going. So let's say this on business is happening in 500 not why do we have to have a 500 milliseconds. So let's say very short time. Okay, let's say there's a reason why I'm doing it short time. I'll tell you. Let's say 100 milliseconds. Okay. Yeah, 100 milliseconds is fine, or 200 is also fine. 100 millisecond interval, so very fast LED running. So now this is happening in one time. So what will happen is first LED 1 is on, then LED 2 after 100 millisecond LED 2 is on, after 100 millisecond LED 3 is on, after 100 millisecond LED 4 is on, after 100 millisecond LED 5 is on. Okay, LED number 5. Then what we do is after the LED 5, the fifth LED is on, we switch off all the LEDs at the same time. Okay, maybe after the fifth LED is on, at 100 millisecond, we switch off all the LEDs. Okay, and then we again start from first LED, second LED, third LED, fourth LED, fifth LED, like that. Okay, so there's nothing in that. It's a very simple thing. So how this continuous business coming is I'm sorry guys. So let's say the purpose is you want to find out when a user is pressing a button. Okay, let's say I'm pressing a button and take my hand off. Okay, I'm pressing a button and taking my hand off. So I want to find out at what time the user is pressing the button. So let's say your LEDs are blinking, meanwhile I'm pressing the button. Let's say your third LED is on. Okay, third LED is on. Okay, at the time I'm pressing my button. Okay, so if you can find a way to indicate that. Okay, so third LED is on. So let's say your third LED is on, I'm pressing the button. So let's say the fourth LED is not switching on and fifth one is on. Okay, and then when somebody comes and sees these LEDs, okay, they can see fourth LED is off. That means during the fourth LED only I have pressed my hand. Okay, button. Okay, so this is a scenario, right? So the another issue is when we are running it inside the while loop, immediately after all the LEDs will go off, right? And then you may not be find it out, right? After that, let's say you are just watching and you can at a single iteration 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm pressing a button and you can say okay at the at this time after the third LED, during the fourth LED only you have press your hand. Someone can tell like that. So once the fifth LED is finished, then it will again switch off all the LEDs and start again. So that may not make sense, but still to understand the programming concept and how it can be applied, we can use this. Okay, so the scenario is first we are running the LEDs to blink. Meanwhile, during each iteration, okay, see this, okay guys, during each iteration, before the particular LED is blinking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the switch as well. Input. Okay, so I'm reading the during each iteration I'm reading the switch, and if that is not pressed I'm switching on the LED. Okay, then next iteration I'm reading the switch, if that is not pressed I'm switching the second LED. Okay, if that is pressed I'm skipping that particular LED and going for the next LED, so that the particular LED will be off, so that when someone is seeing and they can see okay during this time only you have pressed the switch. That is why this particular iteration is skipped. That is why this particular LED is off. So simply saying we are skipping a particular iteration. What does that mean? We are using a continue keyword. We are using a continue keyword. So because as we have studied it, right? So according to this logic, what I am going to do is I am going to write a code. It may look a little lengthy, so just don't worry. I'm sorry guys, I'm having a little cough. So we normally don't use pin number 1 2 3 4 5 because there are some are used for communication. Let's say we are using pin number 10 11 12 13 15. Okay, all good. So as you all know, so what we normally do is we mention a pin mode and the pin number and output. So I will use a let's say for loop for this. Okay, you know how to do a for loop, right? For int let's say I'll write int outside anyway. Int x is equal to 10. Let's start from 10. So you know all these businesses, guys. I have told you this too much enough. I'm sorry, int x, I'm sorry. Okay, x is equal to 10. Okay, x is less than or equal to 15. X plus plus, right? X, where is C plus plus? Okay, plus plus. Okay, so then you know what should be done, guys. So I have told you this enough times. So if you are smart enough, you can show it as a school project, but 5 LEDs are not enough because they are continuously switching off and switching on, so you may not be able to see. So maybe you can use void setup if you want. We'll talk about that later. First we will do this. So then you know this pin mode business. So pin mode, okay, x, okay, what do I say? Output, right? Pin mode x output. So this is totally fine, guys. So nothing happens. Just I don't want to write 5 lines. Instead of that, I write a simple 1 line and finish the game off. So void setup will run only one time, and using a for loop, we are simply saying, okay, switch on all the make sure all this pin mode all these particular pins output. Remember Arduino, all this particular pin output. I told this so many times. If you don't understand, you'll go and watch from the beginning, first video, okay, in the same series. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start what? Blinking the LEDs. Okay, so let's write that first. So let's say I'm going to use a while loop. Sorry guys. Let's say int, okay, let's use y. So this is a local variable. So here also, since I'm using a local variable, I can use x as well. There will be no problem, but still I'm using y. Now let's use I. That would be making much sense. Int I is equal to 10. Is that fine? Yes, this is fine. So I'm going to use a while loop here, just for some I can use a for loop as well, but still I'm going to use a while loop because for loop also can be used with the continue and break keyword, guys, right? So since we studied while loop, we will go for this. I is less than or equal to 15. Okay, so the same numbers 10 to 15, right? So then what I'm doing is I'm going to say, okay, digital write, guys, see this, okay, digital write, not wrote, write. So let's say digital write I, okay, I high, because I'm switching on the first LED, right? It's that simple, right? Switching on the first LED, right? Then what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, fine, digital write, oh my goodness, digital write. So before that, I'm sorry, I don't have to write a digital write. I'm just going to use a delay. Delay, let's say 200 milliseconds. So that's a 1/5 of a second. It's a very small time. 200 millisecond, right? It's not a big deal. So from if you write a code like this and run, what will happen, guys? Obviously, if you see this, I is moving from 10 to 15. So number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 6 LEDs. All the 6 LEDs will switch on in 200 millisecond delay. That means it's a very fast what you call iteration, right? There's no question. It's a very fast iteration, 200 millisecond delay. Each LED will switch on. Nothing will go switch off. Each will switch on. So what I will do is, once all these LEDs are switched on, I want to switch off everything because I can start the next iteration. Yes, that makes sense. Okay, I can start the next iteration. So what I will do is, I will write a for loop. I want to switch off everything, so I will write a for loop again. Okay, so I can copy this for loop. Okay, and I will paste it here. So guys, please pay attention to the code. This is very, very important, right? Let's say I'm using int j. Okay, so I will use j is equal to 10, j is equal to 15, j plus plus. Okay, so then I will say, without a single delay, I will say, okay, I will copy this and I will paste it here. Why am I not able to paste it? Maybe it's not copied. Copy, paste. I will say switch off all the LEDs. Okay. Okay. So what does it mean is, the second it should be J. Second for loop, I switch off all the LEDs at the same time. Okay, so what will happen is, first LED 1, 2, 3, 4. LED 1 means pin number 10. Okay, just remember like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the LEDs will switch on one by one with 200 millisecond delay. And after the last LED, sixth LED switched on, after 200 millisecond, this while loop will exist, right? Because it is more than 15 now. So I'm sorry, I forgot to add that I plus plus. What happened to my memory? Yeah, I plus plus, guys. Okay, so it is more than 15 now. So it will come out of that and it will immediately get into this for loop and switch off all the LEDs at the same times because we don't have a delay here, right? Then again this void loop will run, right? So again all the LEDs will switch on one by one. So one more thing to say, we can have another delay here because this you can see this all the LED switch off and the first LED switch on is happening at the same time, because there's no delay between this all the LED switch off and the first LED switch on. Okay, so even though it is the way it is, we can keep it this way because you can see 15 after the 15th LED, 6th LED switch on here, we take a 200 millisecond delay and switch off everything. Okay, at the same time, during the next iteration, first LED will be switched on. So I said you already, if there is no delay manually written from one line to another line, Arduino takes no time, 0 time. So this end line and this starting line, there's no delay in between both. See this, if you come to line number 20 and you go to 23 and again you go to line number 9, and when you come to line number 13, in between them there is no delay. So both are at the same time. So you can see, when you are seeing from the outside, you can see last LED is on and it will go off at a 200 millisecond. At the same time first LED will be on. Okay, so that will not be making a problem. We can keep it this way. So if you want, we can have a delay here, but we don't need. We'll keep it this way. Okay, so now you understand the LED flow, right? So now we have to read the switch. Every moment we have to keep reading the switch, because we know if the switch is pressed, we have to stop the damn thing. Okay, so sorry, we have to stop the thing, stop the flow. We have to skip the flow, particular flow. Okay, so what is our purpose is, let's say the third LED is on, then you are pressing the switch. That means during the fourth LED's time, third LED is on means then again the while loop will start, right? For the fourth LED, I plus plus. Okay, so when the fourth LED is about to be on, you are pressing the switch. That means the fourth LED will not be on if you skip it, and the fifth LED will be on because we are skipping. So if somebody is looking, they say fourth LED is off, it is not on, others are on. That means what? You have pressed the switch during the fourth LED's iteration. So you can even calculate the time. Since this is 200 millisecond for one LED, So 800 millisecond. After the 800 millisecond, before the 1000 millisecond, you have pressed the switch. You understand? Or let's say at the end of the 800 millisecond, you have pressed the switch. Yes or no? Someone can see. Only when someone can see actually, the while loop is stopping at the end of this. After all the 15 LEDs are on, while loop is stopping, we can see. But the problem is what? Here we are, after that we are immediately switching off all the bulbs and we are iterating the loop once again. Okay, so even though the particular LED is on, during the next iteration, all the LEDs will be on one by one. So no one cannot keep remembering that. But anyway, to understand this concept, and also if let's say if somebody is watching at the meantime, same time when you're pressing, they can see when you're pressing this light is off. So during this time only you have pressed. Can tell like that. So if you want it to happen only one time, what you can do is you can bring this part into the void setup. Okay, but still it can be used only one time, because at the end of the time void setup will only run one time. Then you have to reset your Arduino, right? So don't think about those things. just focus on the flow. So now what I have to do is, during every iteration I have to read a switch. Okay, so let's say I'm going to use pin number 2. So what I will say is, I will just tell it here. Okay, see this pin mode, pin number 2. Okay, input dash pull up. What I am doing. Okay, you know these things, right? Because I have already told you these things. Sorry guys. So, and then you know how to read the value. So normally how do you read the value? We simply say int x is equal to digital read. It's very simple guys, right? Okay, 2. So here we don't have to write it outside. Okay, normally what we do is we take this digital root to pin index value and we assign a value, and we can display the value, right? Serial print the value. So now here we are not going to do like this. What we are going to do is, why do you have to assign it to something? We don't need to assign it to something, right? We just have to check this particular value is 1 or 0. So when it is input pull up, what is the concept guys? If you are pressing the button, it is low, right? It is 0, right? So what I will do is, I will I actually don't have to write all these things. So anyway, I will cut this part. So I have write it inside the while loop, right? Because during every iteration I'm going to check it, right? So basically what we can do is, for better understanding, I'm writing like this. Okay, so I'm reading this digital read every time and assign it to value x. Then what I will do is, if the switch is pressed, okay, in case if the switch is pressed, if x is equal to low, right, pressed, we are going to skip this particular iteration. Okay, so what I will do is, I will say before that I have to increase the y by 1, right? There's no question, right? Because otherwise this particular iteration will not properly happen, because even though if we are skipping it, we want to go the next LED to be on. So if the number is, let's say, 13, then if I am skipping it, again the number is 13, because the rest will not happen, right? This will not happen. So I want to increase that. So before skipping it, I will increase and skip the particular iteration, so that the rest will be skipped and 14 will be coming here. I hope you can understand this, because I have explained it in the beginner tutorial as well. So what I will do is, I will say I++, and then I will simply write continue. Okay guys, so okay, if you look at this, you will see that means at the first iteration number 10 is coming. We don't care if you don't press this, we don't care about these things. Okay, these things, because it will not become low, it will be high always. Okay, so we will simply do the rest from line number 18 to 20. We switch on each and every LED. So let's say you have pressed the LED number 13. LED number 13 you have switched on. The LED number 13 is now on, right? Okay, so LED is increasing with time. So 13 is coming, you are not pressing the switch, 13 is switching on, and after 200 delay it will become 14. Okay, and you are pressing the switch now, let's say, when while loop is inside the 14, because while loop is going to keep repeating, right? So while loop is 14, so at the time you have pressed. So what will happen? X become low. It keeps reading, right, every time, and assigning it to x becomes low. So if x is low, what we'll do, we will increase it, because we make it 15, because we want the other iteration to happen, right? So we make it 15 and we skip the what we call, we use a continue keyword and skip the while loop. What does that mean? The while loop stops here and comes here, line number 21, and it will start the next iteration. It will not do anything after the continue keyword, only for that particular iteration. So the rest of this particular iteration will be skipped. You get it, guys? So we will skip it here. So that means we don't switch on this particular LED. LED number 14 will not be switched on, because this will not happen. You understand? Because we, oh my god, what did I do? Oh my god, I'm sorry guys, I don't know how to undo this. So is there a way to undo this? Okay, I will write it. No, nothing to worry. Sorry about this, guys. I'm writing digital right. Okay, what I was writing, guys, hi. Okay, I'm sorry peeps. So what I was telling is okay, I plus plus, I'm sorry, delay 200, sorry guys. Okay, I plus plus. Okay, so 14, if you press during the 14th iteration, so what will happen is this 14 will not be switched on. Okay, and because the continue will be skipped from this particular iteration, the rest of the while loop will not run. So the next iteration will happen, because I have increased I by 1, so I became 15 even before continuing it. So this while loop will come as IS 15. So again the while loop will come. So this time you took your hand off, let's say your switch is not on. So the 15th LED will be on. So if somebody is seeing, okay, number 10, 11, 13 on, 14 off, but 15 is on. If somebody is seeing, they can say, okay, at this time only you have pressed the button. So you understand the terminology, how it can be used. So this project has a lot of issues, I know, because it is keep iterating, right? Because after the 15 is on, what happens is it is exists the while loops and switch off everything. And it is very fast. So you cannot see in the next iteration, every LED will be running in a, again it will, from the beginning it will start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 switch on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, every LED one by one switch on. So you cannot see where you press the switch, but at the same time when you are pressing, if somebody is seeing, they can see during this LED only you have pressed it. Okay, so you may have to do a lot of editing and things like that for this, but still I hope you can understand how this continue keyword can be used for a purpose. Okay, and yes, still there may be some problems. Let's say if you are pressing the button and if you are skipping it, yeah, I hope that will not make a problem. So if you want, what you can do is you can have a delay next to this. Do you want to have a delay next to this? No, obviously you don't. If you want, you can have a delay. No need. Okay, so anyway, you can give a try and see, but still I am saying, so this will work, but still I am saying you want to understand what actually happens, right? I want you to. So simply talking, that particular switched off LED will be showing when you have pressed the button. So let's say if you have 100 LEDs, then it's easy to someone to see, right? If you're pressing the button due to the 5th LED, there's a lot of time for the other LEDs to switch on, finish the row. So if somebody is coming, they can see 5th LED is off, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10 until 90, 99 or 100, all the LEDs are on. Then they can say during the 5th LED only you have pressed the switch. You understand? So run this code and see whether it properly works. Sometimes I am not sure. Sometimes it may get some issues due to this what do you call I'm sorry, delay business. So you may have to check that out. So maybe we may have a delay in the beginning if you want. We sometimes do it, so we can don't ask why this is. We can have the delay in the beginning if you want. So sometimes if you have some issues, improper working, you can have in the delay on the beginning also and have a look. You may understand. So just don't worry about that. I'm just telling from my mind, that's why it happens like this. So since you understand, if you understand what I have done, how I have skipped that particular switched LED business using a switch input, I have skipped a particular LEDs switch from being switched on. So that is switched off at the moment, right? But the next will be switching on because it's a continue, only the particular LED will be skipped. So if somebody comes and they can see, okay, this particular LED is off, so that you have pressed the button during this time. So they can even calculate the time as well, since we know the delay time for if we start from 0, 200, 400, 600, 800. So we can say at this time only, at this particular millisecond time only, you have pressed your button. So if we think there's a lot of LEDs and the on blinking is going before starting the next void loop iteration, because when the next void loop is iterating, or otherwise if for loop has started, if this while loop is ended and if the for loop has started, everything will be off at the moment. So then you can't see that, but at that moment you can see when the person is pressing. Or if there's a lot of LEDs, let's say you have 1000 LEDs, then it take a lot of time to finish the first while loop as well. So if I am pressing my hand during the 200th LED, someone can come and see, because the 1000th LED will take a lot of time to finish. They can see other LEDs on, 200th LED is missing. That means what? You have pressed your button during the 200th LED time. You understand what I'm telling? So try this code, guys, and let me know what actually happens and whether it works as I said or not. But the logic is correct, you can see. And the most importantly, if you understand how this continue keyword can be used in a useful project to make something happen, to achieve something in real life, like finding the time, finding when the button has pressed. So such kind of application, if you realize how this continue keyword can be enough used, and logically if you understand what every line of this code means, that's enough for me, right? So if you don't understand, rewatch the video, because I was repeatedly saying things. So rewatch the video and you can understand how each and every line of code, how does it make sense. I didn't write a single line of code without a purpose, except this line. Just don't worry. Someone may ask, why do you have to assign it to X? You can directly pass the digital read to value. Yes, it is possible, it is very possible, but to make the understanding very clear, I did it. Guys, if you don't understand, just don't think about that. So just go through the video. If you don't understand, once again you will get it, and do the practical and see what happens. So if you are facing any issues, just let me know. So first I have this delay 200 millisecond at the bottom. I mean somewhere here. If it doesn't work, if it is giving some errors, try to have it here and let me know what happens. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong in that delay business, so just don't worry. If you understand the code flow and how the continue keyword can be used in a real world application, that is enough for me. Okay guys, so if you have any doubts, if you encounter any issues, just let me know in the comments. Until then, have a great day ahead, and keep subscribing. Not keep subscribing, subscribe us and support. I will catch you in the next video, guys. Have a great day ahead. Bye.